Welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be starting a new Let's Play, and we're going to be playing MagnaCarta 2 for the Xbox 360. This is a classic JRPG game. It's pretty fun. I played it a few times. Great game, in my opinion. And let's get right into it. I don't think this is a super long game. Definitely not as long as the Morrowind. But yeah, it's going to be a good game though. So let's get right into it, a new game.
It was January, in the year 1149 of the Lansheim calendar.
Prime Minister!
All hail the king!
Schuenzeit, Prime Minister of Lansheim, launched a rebellion, killing Queen Ibreen and usurping the throne.
Come, Your Highness. We must hurry.
Princess Rizafilda, who was 15 years old, had been held prisoner within the palace for a time, but made a miraculous escape. And, in order to resist Schuenzeit, enlisted the aid of Count Alex, an influential noble. 1 year later, the northern forces, comprised of Lansheim army troops and led by Schuenzeit, clashed with the southern forces formed by Count Alex and the lords of neighboring cities. This was the beginning of what would later be called the Lansheim Civil War.
You must not allow her to be killed.
Princess Rosabelda.
Even now, after 2 years have passed, the shadow of war looms like a dark cloud covering the entire kingdom of Lansheim.
Alright, so this game does have a few loading screens.
Back then, I was just a kid who didn't know anything. Who I was, where I came from. I had amnesia and floated through a dull, uneventful life on this island.
can keep on hauling her up.
Okay, pull!
Thanks a lot. Why am I not surprised? Would you get up from there already? I said get up. Can't you see that everybody else is working?
Hey, cut it out. Look, I was up really late working yesterday. So cut me some slack.
Slack, huh? Go ahead and rest if you want.
Really?
Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh, wait a minute!
Hey! Judo fell! Is he alive? Hurry! Pull it up!
Maybe I just wanted to turn a blind eye to reality. What are you doing? Are you trying to kill me?
You brought it on yourself. This is no time to be napping. The village is in danger.
You mean that talk about the Northern forces attacking again? You and the island guards drove them off last time, remember? What's the big deal?
The Southern forces were helping us then. We were lucky, that's all. If the Northern forces decide to go all out, this island wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah, but the Southern forces are on the island, right? They'll back us up again.
The reason the Southern forces are here isn't so they can save our hides. I bet the real reason they're here is to get their hands on the Guardian.
Guardian? What's that? Is it that big a deal?
Don't you remember? The Guardian is a living weapon created by the hero Strauss in the Great War 1,000 years ago. The Northern forces created monster weapons called Sentinels based on it. Apparently, Sentinels are massacring lots of Southern Force soldiers as we speak. The Southern forces are helpless in the face of those powerful monster weapons. It's a one-sided slaughter. That's why they're interested in the Guardian.
So the Southern forces want to fight the Sentinels with the Guardian?
I think what they're after is to figure out how the Sentinels are constructed. The Northern forces won't let them do that. Since the Guardian's been found on this island, there's no telling when it'll become a battlefield. That's why it's vital to keep a constant lookout on the shoreline. Now that we're clear on that, I want you to go to the observatory and see if Northern forces ships are coming.
Jeez, how come I'm always your errand boy?
It's punishment for slacking off. You don't have anything better to do.
If you're away from an event trigger, an arrow will appear on the minimap that points in the direction of the trigger point. As you get closer to the event trigger point, an event icon will appear on the minimap. If you move on the event icon, the event will trigger. If you move on top of the event icon and the event does not occur, the event will be triggered by talking to a nearby character or defeating certain enemies. Alright, so that's the introduction to the game, Highwind Island. There will be load screens in it, so you'll have to, forgive me for them, and they might be a little longer than they should be, considering this is a 360 game. But it's going to be pretty much a straight playthrough. We'll do a little bit of side content, assuming there is side content, and that I can figure out how to do the side content as well. It's been a while since I played this game. I think it was 2017 the last time I played the game. So it's been quite a while actually. But it's a good game to return to. As you can see, just kind of a standard JRPG setup. You get your little town. Looks like there's a merchant over here. Let's see if we can find him and talk to him. See how that works. Welcome. Some recovery items just came in. Like to take a look? Alright, so yeah, you can buy and sell stuff. It'll show you your stats and what each of the items does. Alright. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything right now. Don't need anything as far as I'm aware. Alright, so let's just move towards the event marker up there. And I like that this game is voice acted. That way, I don't have to read everything. But and I know everybody gets tired of hearing my my voice, so don't have to read everything. But there will be parts that I get to read, or I will have to read. So I will do that, and then all the cutscenes I'll just let them play out, and I'll try not to talk or interrupt if I can. That way, you can just listen to the voice acting and the music involved in the game. And I know we're not headed towards the event, but we're going to check out up here since it's an obvious offshoot. Because JRPGs like to give us chests in these obvious offshoots. Got a healing lead. I guess that's good. Alright, so let's see what this event is.
No sign of the Northern forces anywhere. It's all very quiet, same as always.
So, you're slacking off again?
I was looking at Lestrada, that's all.
Do you know what Lestrada is?
So, it was also built by the hero Strauss, right?
And what else?
Just because someone loses his memory, it doesn't make him an idiot. Strauss is the hero who saved the world, right? Even I know that.
Goodness, I'm so happy that you managed to learn that much. In that case, do you also remember how Lestrada floats in the air? I think I taught you that before, too.
Well...
Why do I even bother trying? Lestrada is the aerial battleship used by the hero Strauss in the Great War that engulfed the entire world 1,000 years ago. After the war, Lansheim was in ruins, and its people were hard-pressed just to survive. And so, to prevent the fall of Lansheim, Strauss borrowed Lestrada's capabilities. To save the world, he released his immense power through Lestrada as it flew, sending it into the earth below, sacrificing himself in the process. Thanks to him, the land overflowed with bounty, becoming far more fertile than before, so much so that the earth doesn't even need to be tilled. Wizardry became more potent, and there was a sharp rise in the number of people able to use it. Anyway, there's a lot more to the story. But it's entirely thanks to Lestrada that the people of Lansheim are able to live here as well as they do.
I guess that's why the villagers sometimes offer up prayers to it.
That's right. We'll have a review of all this next week, so make sure you have everything memorized.
What? Oh man, I didn't even catch all of it!
If you have any trouble, ask the villagers. This stuff is common knowledge. Maybe I should give you your next errand.
Another one?
Well, of course. Come to the lift at the south of the village. I'll be waiting.
Alright. Moving on to the lift at the south of the village. So this is basically the tutorial prologue to learn how to play the game. So we'll go and get down there and see how we do whatever she's going to teach us. I would assume it's probably going to be battling, but I don't remember. So, like I said, it's been a long time since I played this game, so I'm probably not going to remember much of anything. And this is an event where we have to talk to her. Good, you're here. I'll tell you about your next job. You know, we're building barricades in Windsong Caverns to prepare for the Northern Forces invasion. I know that much. But there's been a sharp rise in monsters on the shore lately, so work is behind schedule. So you want me to kill those monsters? Well, just chase off the cloppers and they don't have shells. Lappers have shells, so I think they're a little beyond your ability right now. You ought to be able to kill shellless cloppers with your wooden sword. Killing 3 should be enough. Should be a lot, you mean. Alright, so we gotta kill 3 cloppers, and they're all on the Highwind Island shore, so the villagers can work in safety. Alright, so we're gonna have like a quest system in this game, it looks like. I'll leave it to you, Juto. By the way, you remember how combat works, right? I think I taught you how earlier. Not sure I'm up to it. Sure, of course I remember how. I need to go through the tutorial, I'm sorry. I figured. Then wait at Highwind Island shore. I'm busy, but I'll show you the ropes one more time. Alright, so let's get on down there. Sorry, I'm gonna have to actually do the tutorial because, like I said, I have no idea how to play this game anymore. Strata, an airborne battleship. Well, I guess you'll have to pause it to catch all of those little tidbits in the load screens. This is pretty quickly. Okay, so lapper shells. So it looks like you can kick the shells. I would assume there's probably going to be stuff in them, if not monsters in them. And she said we're not going to be able to beat lappers, so I probably should stop doing that before I catch a monster that I can't beat. So let's get over here then. Okay, so holding LT is going to get our battle menu up, it looks like. Or not holding, just pressing LT.
Juto?
What's up?
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah?
Could you open this lapper's shell for me? You see, I need a pearl.
Ah, it's no trouble at all. Hey, are you gonna make something with the pearl?
Yes. Papa is off at war. I'm making a lucky charm so that he'll come home soon. A kick from you will be plenty to break the lapper shell. Just get close to the lapper shell, and then press the A button.
Got it. Leave it to me.
Press A in front of specific enemies or objects in movement mode. You can perform actions specific to that character. This is called a field action. When a field action can be performed, the A button will become active. Press the button to perform it. Field actions vary by character. Alright, so that's what we learned earlier, but there we go. Pearl obtained.
Thank you so much, Juto.
I hope your dad comes home safe and sound.
To repay you, here's something useful. The column you see over there is the pillar. The pillar is really smart, and it can save the memory of whoever activates it. You lost your memories, right? You should save them at the pillar so that you don't lose them again, okay? To use the pillar, press the A. Oh, and the pillar can also restore health, so put it to good use.
Wow, talk about handy. I'll give it a try, thanks. Alright, you have your pearl now, so head back to the village. It's not safe here.
Okay, bye.
Alright, certain tutorial things as well that are pretty routine, where they're just saying press A, and things like that. I'm gonna skip through some of those. So, alright, there we go. We got our first save now. Alright, so that's probably a Clopper right there.
Make this lesson quick, alright? I just want to get it over with and then go back to the village and relax for a while.
Relaxing is all you think about. All right, today I'm going to explain combat to you. First, to attack, pull the left trigger to enter combat mode.
Combat mode?
You forgot already? Talk about combat mode is when you have a weapon out and raised. When you're in combat mode, you are able to attack. All right, pull the left trigger and enter combat mode.
Let's go!
Next, I'll explain movement mode.
Movement mode is the opposite of combat mode, so it means that your weapons are lowered, right?
Right. In movement mode, if you use the A button, you can do things like talk to people or open boxes. The things you can do with the A button are displayed in the lower right of the screen while you're moving around the field, so keep it. Understand the difference between movement and combat modes now?
Yeah.
Let's continue the explanation of combat mode. If you press the A button in combat mode, you can use...
What are standard attacks again?
It means to attack an enemy using By pressing the A button multiple times, you can do a series of standard attacks. The more you level up, the more times you can use them. Also, if you attack an enemy from behind, you can perform more powerful... Use standard attacks when you're close to an enemy. Try attacking an enemy with standard attack...
If you press LT in places other than a city or village, you can switch between movement and combat mode. If you press the A button while in combat mode, you can attack a targeted opponent with a standard technique. If you attack when your opponent is at a distance and not targeted, you will lose stamina and fail to hit the target. If you close in on the target and the target cursor says attacking is possible, your attack will hit. Also, by attacking the opponent from behind, you can inflict even greater damage than usual. Criticals.
Cut!
Good. Next, I'll show you how to dash toward an enemy. In combat mode, you always have your weapon out and raised, so you can't run at full speed. That said, it's risky to move up to an enemy in movement mode and then switch to combat mode to raise your weapon after you get close. And so, you must learn how to quickly close the gap between you and your enemy with your weapon still at the... This is called a dash.
Wow, that sounds great. How do...
When you're at a distance from your target, try pressing the left stick button.
Sure, I'll try it.
If the distance between you and your targeted opponent is above the set amount, you can use dash to quickly close the gap. Pressing the left stick with the opponent targeted will allow you to dash towards it. Also, a set amount of stamina is expended when you use dash. Furthermore, if you bump into obstacles while using dash, it will come to a stop.
Good job. Next, I'll explain skills to you. Earlier, I taught you a technique that uses your legs. Do you remember?
Oh, you mean Skyward Hammer?
Yeah, if you use that skill, you can send your enemy flying quite a... It's really effective when you're surrounded by multiple enemies. I taught it to you exactly because you can't use a real sword.
I know.
To use skills, you need Con. As you attack enemies with standard attacks, Strength Con builds up within your body. Then, when you've built up enough Con to activate a skill, press the X button. Do that, and the skill will activate. Okay, build up your Strength Con and use Skyward Hammer.
When characters use standard techniques, they gain Con. Characters can use skills by using the Con they have stored up. The amount of Con they have is displayed in the Con gauge. When the con exceeds the level required to perform a skill, the X button will change from gray to blue. Juto uses Strength Con to activate his skills. Strength Con will be replenished if you keep using standard techniques. Strength Con does not fade over time, so it might be a good idea to store it up while fighting weak enemies and using skills on more powerful enemies. Okay, so need to get Con or
Not done!
Skyward Hammer.
I'll teach you about signature techniques next.
I know about signature techniques. The techniques you use when certain conditions are met, right? I have a signature technique called Counter that completely destroys an enemy's weapon.
Right. When you can use a signature technique, a sign telling you to press the B button will be displayed in the middle of the screen. If you press the B button quickly when it does, your signature technique will initiate. It's easy to initiate Counter when you've dodged an enemy's attack. The conditions to initiate a signature technique will be different depending on the weapon you're using. Now try to use a signature technique once.
Player controllable characters have their own signature techniques. Signature techniques can be activated according to their specific timings. When the B button appears at the center of the screen, you can use a signature technique. Quickly press the B button. If you do not press it within a certain amount of time, the B button center of the screen will disappear and you will no longer be able to use the signature technique.
I should still be able to fight with this! Yes!
Alright, so I just hit it right away. I don't have to wait or anything like that. So
Well done! Next, I'll explain stamina to you. When you're in combat mode, you expend stamina when you use things like standard attacks and skills. And when you expend more than a certain level of stamina, you enter into a state that's called overdrive. Your attack power goes up when you're in overdrive, so the damage you deal to enemies increases. Alright, use standard attacks and skills and try to go into overdrive.
when you are in combat mode, you expend stamina when you use standard techniques or skills. Also, if your stamina gauge is depleted beyond a certain limit, you will enter an overdrive state. After you enter overdrive, you will be able to execute powerful combos, but you will enter an overheat state after you finish attacking. When you enter overheat, activities other than movement, such as attacking or using items, will be unavailable until your stamina recovers. Alright, so it's high risk, high reward, basically. Where is it? Alright, so it must be the thing at the bottom.
Alright! I like how I get stronger when I'm in overdrive, but afterwards, I can hardly move.
Now, overdrive has both an upside and a downside. If you stop moving while in overdrive, you enter a state called overheat, and you won't be able to do anything for a set period of time. When you go into overdrive, just continue attacking if you can. But as things stand, you can use 3 standard attacks in a row right now. In any case, you'll overheat immediately. So go into overdrive, and when you charge in, perform a barrage of standard attacks and skill.
But I'll be way too exhausted to do anything, won't I?
True. When there are enemies left standing, it's dangerous to go into overheat. When enemy numbers are few, using overdrive when their defenses are down is effective. You should judge very carefully whenever you use overdrive in battle. Additionally, when you're fighting alongside friends, even more powerful drive states can be chained together.
Yeah? How do I do that?
I'll teach you once you're able to fight more reliably, Juto. This you can't do alone.
Sure, I understand.
Moving on, I'll teach you how to change targets next. To switch targets during a battle, you can change the targeting cursor by pressing right bumper or press right bumper and left bumper simultaneously, and the cursor will automatically... Alright, that's enough for... I have something to take care of at Windsong Cavern, so I'll go on ahead.
Isn't that place under Southern Forces control right now? Why are you going there?
The people of the village are nervous. I thought I'd go there to ask them to hurry up and collect the Guardian. See you later.
Sure.
Once you're done purging the area, you should report to Bilter. I think Bilter is fixing the barricade on this shore.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's the tutorial. So let's take out 3 cloppers and get this done. And you get your experience points in the top right, it looks like. Or top left, I mean, not top right. Interesting. Flower. Alright, so let's go on and get this done, then we'll save and alright, so we got the credit for that closet.
Let's go!
Which is a little funny since we weren't really doing anything. Alright, so we killed 3 of 3. Let's try to kill. Oh, it's a lapper. Okay, so she said we probably can't fight those. So we'll run away. And it looks like just running away is fine. Let's kill a couple of these so that we got a little bit of experience. Probably another lapper right there, so we'll leave it be. Okay, so you can enter overheat even when you're going out of battle. Alright. So we'll run on back up here and see what this guy's got to say, or we'll go to the save. Alright, let's see what he has to say. Builder. Oh, you finished killing the cloppers, did you? Good work, Juto. I bet it wasn't easy. If you have the time, deal with the shelled ones too. Could you kill those too? If you use overdrive right, you can destroy their shell with one powerful attack. Don't try to be a hero though. If you get yourself hurt, Melissa will have my hide. Alright, so we did the clopper, we got a level up, very nice. Not sure why we start at level 3.
Juto, are you slacking off again?
Nope, not at all. Today I did every last thing that Melissa told me to do.
Melissa, huh? She's a fine-looking gal. She's spunky and has her act together, too. If I was 10 years younger, I'd snatch her up myself.
You'd regret it later. Trust me on this.
Good one, Juto. Come to think of it, how's the memory? Anything shaken loose?
Nothing at all.
But you've been looking a whole lot healthier lately. The name Juto fits you perfectly.
But isn't Juto the name of a kind of weed?
It's a grass that's chock full of vitality. Melissa sure has a knack for naming things. It's her way of saying, get your memory back soon and become as tough as a weed.
Tough as a weed seems kind of lame if you ask me. I bet my real name is a lot more normal.
But you can't remember what it is. Show her some gratitude for giving you a name and teaching you how to use a wooden sword.
Now that you mention it, how come you can't use a real sword, Juto? Were you in a war before you lost your memory? Or did somebody take a swing at you with one or something?
Boy, when I look at this fella, the only thing I can see him doing on a battlefield is running away.
What? You guys get your kicks making fun of me?
Come on, you know that I'm just kidding, right? Besides, if a war happens to break out, the Southern forces will come in and help us.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to skip that.
I hope you're right. I knew it. I can't do it. I can't pick up a real sword no matter how hard I try. Why?
You know, you might not remember it, but I bet you fought in a war. I bet it must have been terrifying to see so many people dying. Maybe that's why you're scared of real swords, things that hurt people.
Really?
If real swords are no good, then let's start with a wooden sword.
I'm sorry. I'm just not good for anything.
Don't worry about it. You'll be able to use one properly someday. After all, weapons aren't meant to hurt others. They're meant to protect yourself.
Did I fight in a war? For some reason, I still can't bring myself to touch a real sword. Thanks to Melissa, I can use a wooden sword. But for some reason, I still can't pick up a real one to use as a weapon. I don't think it has anything to do with my past, but I want to know why I can't pick up a real sword. I just want to know what in the world happened to me.
What are you spacing out for? Are you really sulking?
I'm not a kid, you know. I was thinking about something. I'm going back. Keep up the good work, old-timers.
Oh, hey, have you heard? They say the princess is coming to the village today.
What? Really?
They say she's the leader of that counter-sentinel unit that was put together to fight those terrible sentinels. Plus, rumor has it that she's also a beauty, so everybody's in high spirits.
Impressive. I'm gonna see for myself.
Alright, so we'll head on back to the village now, is what it looks like we're doing. But we're going to hit the save pillar, and that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.